All right. Everything I've shown you this unit, which is a ton, 2 quizzes worth, you had to have a right triangle. You can't do any of the stuff I've been showing you guys without a right triangle. And it's kind of ridiculous, right? It's kind of ridiculous that I can only use all this great stuff in a right triangle. What about if it's not a right triangle and I still want to find a side or angle? That's what this last part of the unit is. I'm going to show you 2 things we can use if your triangle's not a right triangle and you still need to find the side and the angle. So that's what we're going toward. No more right triangles. I guess it could be, but no more right triangles. How can I still find a side or angle? All right, so I'm not going to read through all this with you. I'm going to get right to example 1. And you guys remember we saw this this direction a couple days ago, I believe. Solve triangle ABC. What am I asking for when I ask you to solve a triangle? Basically find what, Spence?
All the sides and angles.
Everything that's missing. All right, so the easiest way to start here is, since I already have 2 angles, find the missing angle. Let's just start off finding the missing angle right here. So you know 2 angles and a side, so let's find angle C real quick, and then we'll discuss how to find the sides. So missing angle C is going to come out to be, what we got here, 10, 30 degrees, right? 180 degrees in a triangle. Subtract those 2 from 180 and you got 30. All right, no issues. All right, now we're stuck because this is not a right triangle. So all that stuff we just went over that covered the 2 quizzes, SOHCAHTOA, Hill-SAS, 30-60, 45-45, and Pythag are not working here because I don't have a right triangle. So let me introduce the first formula, and I'll introduce a second one tomorrow, that'll find any side or any angle regardless of what type of triangle it is. All right, this is going to be called the law of sines, okay? The law of sines. All right, law of sines I'm going to show you today. Again, guys, this can be used in any type of triangle to find a side or an angle. It doesn't matter if it's right or not. Here's what the law of sines says. Let me give you the formula, then we'll use it on this triangle. It's a proportion. All right, law of sines is a proportion. And here's what you put into it. You put a side length on top. So I'm just going to put A, side length A. Underneath it, ready? Underneath it, you put the sine of the angle across. So I'm going to put sine A. And you set that equal to another side, whatever other side you have, and the sine of the angle across from that. And it will make more sense when I plug in actual numbers here in a second. But that's the law of sines. A side over the sine of the angle across equals another side over the sine of the angle across. All right, let me plug my 40 degrees in here. All right, so let's go back. We have 2 sides to find now. 2 sides. You pick what side. It doesn't matter. We have enough information for everything. 10 again. Pick a side you want to start with. AB. All right, now, whoa. I want to show you some new notation before we find side AB. New notation, ready? Everyone see how I put a lowercase c for AB? I can call this side C now because it's across from what angle? C. Does everyone see that? All right, I can put anytime you see the lowercase letter, that means the side across from its angle. Okay, so could we call this AB? Yes. We could also call this now side C. And that tells you that's the side across from angle C. All right, that's the side across from angle C. All right, so let's use law of sines now. So the first thing, I'm going to start out with the side I'm looking for. C over, tell me the angle across from it. 2, what's the angle across from C?
C.
Which is how many degrees?
30.
Oh, why did I put 40 in there? Nobody was going to. Anna, where were you on that?
I was trying to.
Yeah, right.
I didn't want to interrupt you.
Darn right. You're starting to learn. 30, right? But hey, notice I don't put 30 here. What's the formula say? Sine 30. Okay, so I put sine 30 equals. Now in the second one, you should put a side and an angle you already know. Don't put another variable. We want to stay away from that. So what's a side and an angle across that we are already given and already know? 13, what's a side? Nope. I knew that one.
1.
6, what's a side and an angle across we already know? Okay, so 28 over, go ahead, Nate, sine 40, right? Everyone make sure we put the sine with it. Sine 40. So there's law of sines. A side over the angle across equals a side over the sine of the angle across. And we're going to solve this just like we've done any darn proportion in this class. Cross multiply. So C times the sine of 40 equals 28 times sine 30. All I did was cross multiply the means and extremes. All right, you guys, come on. You guys have been through it. How do you think I get C by itself now on the left side? How do I get C by itself? 7? You got this, Kira.
Divide.
5?
Sin 40. Or sine 40.
Yeah. Yeah, you better watch your mouth. Sine 40, good. And now I type all that into my fraction template on my calculator. And what's it say? Round your final answers to the nearest tenth. Round your final answers to the nearest tenth. So for angle C, nearest tenth, what are you getting here? 7? Come on.
Uh, 21.8.
Yeah, there we go. Good work, 21.8. Whoa. We didn't solve this triangle yet. What do we still have to find? What do we still have to find?
A.
Side A, right? We still have to find side A. Now, we can't use Pythag. It's not a right triangle. I already know two sides, but I can't use Pythag here. All right, so to find A, here we go. Let's start off with A over, what's the angle across? 3. What's my angle across, Spence? 110. So make sure you guys sine 110, not just 110. Sine 110 equals, now over here, I always go with the given side and angle in case I made a mistake here on side C. Could you use side C with 40 to 30 degrees? You could. You could, but if I made a mistake, guess what? Your answer is going to be wrong again. All right, so I always go with the given one, and that's 28 and sine 40. Law of sines we're using to find any side. And again, if this is a right triangle, you can use it too. All right? This can be used on any triangle you want. So cross multiply A times sine 40 equals 28 times sine 110. How do I get A by itself? Oh, 11, 9. How do I get A by itself? Yep. 8, round to the nearest tenth. What do you got for me?
56.5.
56.5. I didn't get that, did I?
No.
What are you plugging in there? 28 times sine 110.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead. Let me see in the cal. You got this. Yep, and then divide it by. It's painful. So once you type that, you can just copy and paste, go up and copy paste it.
Well,
All right, now what? 40?
40.9.
All right, good. Nice little device here, law signs. You good? All right. I don't want to solve for every triangle here, so All right, our own diagram. Yes. All right, so I got triangle DAT. So that triangle. Come on.
I laugh.
That triangle. No. All right. Come on. Look forward to this day every year. That triangle. All right, I'm the only great. Relax back there. All right, quickly. Everyone see the new notation here. T equals 21. That means the side across from angle T is 21. All right, instead of writing DA equals 21, I can now write T equals 21. And we know that's the side across from angle T. And what are we looking for? D, which is the side across from angle D. All right, you ready for a little law of sines action here? Because that's all you had to use. Tomorrow I'll give you a second law. So let's start out with the side I'm trying to find. D over, what are you putting that over here? 2, what's the angle across? From side D, what's the?
D, 27.
27. So again, I'm stressing this big time. Sine 27. We got to put the sign with it. Ooh, wait a second. I'm going to run into a problem. Am I? I know side 21, but I don't have the angle across. And I'm not using 105 because it's there. What do I put over the 21? Can I have a little help here? 6? Who's got 6? Nate, come on. Help me and your classmates out. I don't have that. I don't want to use 105.
48.
How are you getting that?
Add the other two angles.
Hey, you have the other two angles. Isn't angle T going to be 180 minus those two? And what'd you get, Nate?
48.
I'm believing you. If Abbott told me I'd go to my notes, but
It is 48.
yes, all right. There you go. There's your confirmation, Nate. I hope you feel good.
It is 48.
Oh, great. Now we got 3 here. Anybody else want to confirm 48? We're good now. All right, cross multiply D times sine 48 equals 21 times sine 27. On both sides, how do you get D by itself? 5. How do we get D by itself?
You divide by, well, hold on. I didn't actually write down that equation.
Okay. I've cross multiplied right now, and that's what I got. So all I did was multiply the means, multiply the
What I would
extremes.
do is like multiply 21 times.
Okay, I can do that in a minute.
And then-
I want to get D by itself.
Divide sine 48 by
There you go.
what 21 is.
There you go. Good.
It's just I like these things.
I know some of you guys find out what that is, right? Divide it by side. I just put it all in one fraction template. That's how I roll. So for that triangle, that'll be the last time I do that. Nothing there. 2. Nate, what do you got?
12.8.
Do you guys have nearest? Yeah, no. Integer, nearest integer.
Oh.
Oh, geez, one
13.
job. 13. Yep. Those rounding directions, right? 13. All good? Oh, we're having fun, aren't we? Yeah. One more, huh? All right. How do I find an angle now? We've been finding sides using law of sines. How can I find an angle using law of sines? So let's get triangle ABC down. I got angle C is 112. C is 10, so that's the side across from C is 10. And the side across from B is 7. Find the measure of angle B to the nearest degree now. All right, so let's slow it down. Now we're finding an angle, everybody. An angle, not a side, an angle. All right, so let's set this up the same way. Same way, law of sines. Tell me what should go in one side of the proportion. One side of the portion. What do you think? 13, one side of the proportion. I don't know. Nope, don't say a word. 2, Nate, you're on fire today. One side of the proportion. What do you think?
10.
Yep, over.
112.
Sine 112, right? We're good. All right, watch yourself here. I'm going to need a superstar here. 1. Okay, so what's the side you know, Anna?
7.
7 across from.
Sine of x.
Okay, there it is. Hey, everybody. Not x. What do we put with it? Sine of the angle, right? So we have to put sine x there. Okay, so sine x, not just x, sine of x. Are we okay with the setup? Now we move on. Cross multiply now. 10 times sine x equals 7 times sine 112. We're not solving for x yet. Get the sine x by itself. So how do I get rid of the 10 now? Take a look. I want to get rid of the 10. So sine x is by itself. 7, how do I get rid of the 10?
Divided.
Yep, good job. So everyone with me, here you go. Divide both sides by 10. And let's see if we remember anything from quiz 2. Okay, so we're clear. That number up here, 0.64, that's not your degree measure. You don't have less than a degree. That's ridiculous, right? You don't have less than 1 degree for the angle. Ridiculous. All right, I want to ask that. This is the sine of the angle. So going back, think about, come on, I don't want to have to tell you. How do I go from this to angle x? Sine x is equal to that. So how do I go to angle x? Come on, dig deep. This is something you would have done yesterday on the quiz for me.
Divide both sides by the side.
What am I going to plug in the calculator then if I divide both sides by sine, right? If I'm finding an angle, come on, Ari, what do you think? Darn right. Remember that? If you need to find an angle, you got to hit your inverse button on here. All right? If you find, I don't care what type of problem I give you. If it's find an angle, you got to do the inverse. All right? Good job. So define x. I'm going to do inverse sine of this decimal here. All right? So you have one more step. You got to do the inverse of it. That's any time I ask you to find an angle. I don't care what type of problem it is. If you're finding an angle, it's going to be the inverse. And you know it doesn't make sense to leave an answer of 0.6 degrees or 1 degree. And 6 to the nearest degree, 40 degrees. Yep. Okay, so please watch out for that. When you're finding an angle and you get down to this last step, you got to do the inverse. All right, questions? All right, let's go. Grab a book. You guys know what it is. If you finish, grab your Chromebook.